Hey guys, this is Retro Handhelds 24. Coming again with another video just for an update on top end devices for emulation for Android based handhelds. I have two here that I really like and I'm really excited to talk about. The first one is the Portal, the Ayan Portal. I got this not too long ago, and I have the grip coming. Should be maybe next week or the week after, because the ergonomics on this are good, but they improved it with adding a grip to make this part right here stick out more, because when you put it in your hands it feels good if you play flat, but if you're like this it tends to like slip. So this grip adds a little more like the Logitech G Cloud right here. It'll fit more in your palm, so when you hold it, it feels good. But yeah, I think I showed this one in my last video, the other video I have, the only video. This one I did get a while ago, but I just got it back again. This is the Evo, the Ayaneo Pocket Evo. This one, okay. So if I had to choose between the two, it'd be impossible, because the Portal is by far just compatible, way more compatible than the Evo, because the Ayaneo software and such. If they had toned down their software and just made it more Android based, then this would be the ideal handheld. I mean, the joysticks, full size. The buttons are alright, they're a little close, but in gameplay I found it actually to be a little more useful, especially like besides shooter games, but like streaming games, you know, PS5 games. Like the buttons that are, the fact that they're closer kind of makes it easier too, especially if you have to tap on a button for long periods of sessions and you have to switch to another button. It's actually easier. I found my gameplay like in Stellar Blade, it was a lot I was picking up on the blocks and everything a lot easier with this, and switching from button to button was easier on the Evo. Okay, so with that said, I don't really have games installed on this because the Evo still has issues. I might have to be sending it back, and if you know a workaround, please let me know, because we'll get into that in a moment. I just want to show really quick on the Portal though. I did put games on here. I have a bunch of games dumped on my computer from my Switch cartridges, and I load them up on the Portal. So I didn't really get too much time to test this out. Just been busy with work, but for the most part, like, let's do, well, I can't do that one. I mean, it's, these games are not like really anything to show off the system, and they're all gonna get me in trouble if I click on them. Samurai Jack should be fine. I got the latest turnip driver. Let's see if I can show you in the settings. Let's see here. Game settings. So what do I have this? This is, okay, nothing special there. The accuracy level is normal. I think I have it docked though. Yeah, it's in docked mode, so it's 1080p. I have the new turnip driver on here, that the Vulcan one that just came out. Here, let me just show you that first before I get into the gameplay. So I'm using this one. This one came out not too long ago. It's alright. I found that this driver still works pretty well with other games. The latest 25 mess up turnip driver, that one's pretty solid. This one, like, how do I explain it? I can show you on my, I'll make another video, but I can show you on my Lenovo Legion Go tablet. It shows that this driver just, it clocks one of the it just overclocks it basically, so it really pushes every little bit of performance out of it when you're using it. But it doesn't always work with like any game you throw at it, unfortunately. I think Samurai Jack works pretty well. Again, this is 1080p. Normal accuracy, nothing high. This game does take a while to load. Let me see if I can hopefully speed that up. And obviously this is Xbox style buttons over here, so that's A, that's B, and so on. But alright, go, Alright, so as you can see, we're getting 60 frames per second now. Long ago. I love Samurai Jack. It was a good cartoon growing up to watch. I'm glad they brought it back and kind of like, you know. See, so it recognizes my Xbox layout, so I gotta go like this. It's gonna be weird. Come on. Alright. I mean, obviously it's cool because it looks like a cartoon, but you know. It is a cartoon. But we're here for the gameplay. Okay. So right there, 44, 45. But you know what? This game is supposed to be capped at 30. If you update this game with the latest update. Wait, what button does what? Okay. If you update it, it brings down the frames per second to 30. So that kind of sucks. I'd rather not update it and play uncapped. Like, I mean, you'll get over 45, maybe 50 at times, depending on how much is going on the screen. Right there. But you want to play this game with like more frames per second than 30. Like it slows it down. It's not as fun. I got way further in the game on my Odin 2 Pro. Almost beat it, but again, life happens and didn't have time to do so. So I have to still do that. But I'm just showing this on the OLED screen. That's basically it. It's obviously the same on the Odin 2 Pro. It's nothing. This is the AYN Portal Max, so I got, you know, a little bit more RAM. But they also let you do the RAM swap on this too, and I did that. So I added more RAM, so it's like 16 plus what, 4? So I got 20 gigs of RAM theoretically. I don't notice a difference. If you're out there looking into this, yeah, save your money, get the Pro. I mean, you'll still get 4 more gigs of RAM, so you'll get the 16 because you could do the RAM swap, which I didn't know before buying this, which I wish I did know because it's like another $100. Like, no, not worth it. But yeah, I mean, the vibration feels good. I remember when I first tried installing this game from my, like, downloading the game onto my Switch and then dumping it onto a micro SD card and then loading it up on one of these emulations like Yuzu or something. It would not run. It wouldn't get past the title screen. And now look how far we've come. Like, I'm playing it with no glitches, no nothing. I mean, I can't tell the difference other than how more comfortable it feels with these joysticks. And ooh. Okay, let's see. What does that say? Y and X. So they're backwards. So what is this? Y? Oh! Cha! Cha! Gotta get back. We gotta get back to the past. No! I like that. Okay, alright. Yeah, this is... On my Odin Pro 2, I did put the update, like I said, and it drops the frames per second to 30, because it's obviously more stable. But why would you want to play it that way? This is... Like, if you get this game, or if you had this game on any other system, like, I'm thinking about putting it on a PS5, and just streaming it, because I know for a fact I'll get 60 frames. And I think this came out on all consoles. But, like, I'm a huge fan of Samurai Jack. Like I said, it was awesome. Cartoon Network, I think, or Adult Swim, something. They brought it back and they finished the story, which was amazing. How do we block? It's been a while. Let's see. What's this button do? Trigger, nothing. Trigger, nothing. Oh, that's blocked. Okay. I'm all into blocking now after Stellar Blade and Black Knight Wukong. You gotta time those blocks. They matter so much. Ooh, but I missed it. That's cool. So the more you fight in the game, the more beat up you get. Reflects that in the game is clothing gets destroyed, just like in the cartoon. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, but that's enough. Easy, easy. Portal, awesome. Button, 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 button. Buttons make sense. Back button, okay. To get out of the game. What was that? Capture button, I think. Home button, awesome. And then start button. That's all you need. Boom, home button. I went over this a little bit on my last video, but the Odin tools work. Again, you can download this if you get the portal, which makes it even more convenient. And like I mentioned too, you can increase the saturation. I have this at 1.8, which makes the colors pop even more. It's like even more beautiful. And like, I don't know if I can pick it up on camera, but it's the same background on my Evo. But I don't know if you're gonna see it. It just looks better on the portal. You might have to like do it in person. But that's the thing, like some people may not like the oversaturation. I do. But what I like more about it is that I have the ability to do it. Like if I want to change it, or if I want to lower it or increase it, I can on this. Cannot on this because, excuse me, that's my puppies. I can't do it on this because it's Ayaneo and they're just like very limited on what you can do. And speaking of which, let's just go ahead and talk about this one. So this one right off the back, like this is the 12 gig model. All right. So as you can see, 12 gigs. It was very expensive for that, but it's got the better, I think, speeds with the storage or something. I think the 128 gig was kind of slower, so I opted for the bigger one just because one, it was more RAM. If I wanted to emulate or something on this, definitely figured that 12 was the sweet spot. And also with the storage too, 120 gigs, like it's not good. I mean, you get a micro SD card, but like you're gonna fill your device up quick with 120 gigs, and even if you have like terabyte or whatever in there, it's not the same as when you're reading stuff on the device versus on a micro SD card. For Switch emulation, you should have no problem because it's, you know, not that intensive. Games are smaller, not that hard, obviously, if it's emulated on a, you know, a recent device and it's a current console. However, with like Windlater or something like that, if I want to ever explore, you need at least, I would say at least 12, probably like 16, but that's just outrageously priced. Anyways, so here's my thing with this one, okay? This one I had to return. It's not the same one, but I got this earlier. I had to return it because it would not charge. Put the charger in and it would like flicker. It wouldn't keep a constant charge. So I was like, okay, well, I gotta return this because how am I gonna be able to charge this? And if it just dies, it dies. Also too, if I ever want to dock something like this or transfer, I need that USB-C port to work. So I did so, and they returned it finally, and I got this. And I could tell already, like the D-pad, like the D-pad on my first one was way looser. This one is like, it's stiffer, and it feels better. Other than that, that's like the only difference I noticed physically. Obviously the charger works, which is great, but here we go. So this, and I don't know, please comment if you guys have I know it's probably a small group of people, but if anyone has a Pocket Evo and they're having trouble with their Wi-Fi, please comment and tell me what's going on, because this, and I watched one of the YouTube videos, Derek Bass or Bass Derek, whatever, he put in a great video of how to tear down the device to increase the thermals, which also the thermals on this is way better than the thermals I got on the first Ayaneo Pocket Evo. Whatever they did it, they fixed it. It's like 90% stability. It's higher than the, you know, the Gen 2, which is great, but I don't care about that. I really don't care about that because honestly, like, the chip gets way too hot. If you guys are looking to push this chip to the furthest, the most extreme, I get it. It's just I feel uncomfortable with it, like how much this thing costs, and pushing it that hard, like melting something inside, even with thermals improved, is just still terrifying. Like, I just don't want it to get that hot. You know what I mean? But I do like the way it feels, and I do like the, you know, the ergonomics, the joysticks, and the way it looks. It looks better than this. Like, this just works. There's no complaints. Even the joystick is smoother than these. Believe it or not, there's less grind. There's more grind on this than there is on this, even though it's like smaller and just no grind. But I still love this. I don't want to give up on it. However, the Wi-Fi, there's a huge issue. So we're in my kitchen, and my router's over there in the front room, and I got Wi-Fi 6E Xfinity. It's like 1200 down, maybe even more. I did some tests on the Odin and what have you, but since we're in my kitchen, it connects kind of okay, as you can see. That's a shame. Like, look at that little bar. It's kind of a shame. It's the name of my dog, by the way. And, you know, let me see if I could show this too. Like, I even have this on where it shows you what's going down when it's actually being used for Wi-Fi in the Odin, because it's so cool. Yeah, see it. I have them both connected. We're in the kitchen, so the Wi-Fi works, kinda, in here, right? Let me see if I could get this on camera, because it's very interesting. If I'm in the front room, the Wi-Fi is, like, I guess too strong. It just doesn't connect. It won't connect. This has no problem connecting. This gets, like, I did speed test, it was like 1200, 40 up. This will get nothing. But if I'm in the kitchen, for whatever reason, because I'm further away from the router, it picks up the Wi-Fi signal, which sucks because I want to play on the couch. I work all the time, and I don't want to, like, stand in my kitchen or play in the office. That defeats the purpose. Like, I want to relax and play with this. Like, I have no problems with this in the front room, but I can't connect to the internet with this in the front room. Makes no sense. So it's something to do with the antenna, and I know when you take this thing apart, it's got two antennas. I don't want to take it apart. I already brought it up to Ayaneo's attention. I sent them 2 emails with videos of the speed test with internet, and this can't even connect to, it might connect to this in here because, again, we're further away from the router, so whatever that's doing, the signal's so strong, I guess, it will pick up the speed. However, even on a good day, I still feel like the Odin has a better Wi-Fi antenna, which is really weird. I shouldn't say weird, but it, you know, this thing costs less. Why does it work better than this? So here, we'll do an example. This will be in the kitchen, so it'll vary. But if we go in the front room, it will not work. So let's go. They're both connected to the same Wi-Fi 6E. And as you can see, we're getting decent. We're getting, what is that? Well, I wouldn't say decent. 300 is kind of lame. All right, well, yeah. Okay, so that's not the greatest, but I mean, it still tops it, 458, but that's, whoa, is that 21? Yeah, upload speed is not that great. Will it beat the Evo though? We'll see. Yeah, it sure did. Anyways, okay, so I guess this is the furthest away from the router, right? The office is closer, the front room is obviously in the front room where the router is. But this won't even connect to the internet. I can't even do a speed test with this. With this, it gets like 1200 down, which is crazy because we're only a couple feet away from the front room. But that's where my PS5 is, that's where the router is, that's where the couch is, that's where I want to play. I felt like if I were to have to, because I don't want to send it back again and wait another 2 weeks to see if the replacement works, or if they're even going to do this at this point because it's Ayaneo. I feel like if anybody knows, like, if you have to take it apart, disassemble the antenna or move the antenna around on the inside, because it's like below the heatsink and right next to the motherboard, which I saw in the video. I really don't want to do that, because who wants to do that, especially with a device like this? You gotta take off these panels, then you gotta take off the triggers, like you gotta literally rip them off. I don't want to do that. However, so here's the kicker. The internet works, the 6E works here, right? Should have no problems connecting to, like, let's do the PS5, obviously. Should have no problems, right? and I think it will connect, but from my understanding, it comes out choppy. And maybe it won't. Don't quote me on that. I was playing Risk of Rain earlier. Let's go here. So, I don't want to play this in the kitchen just because the Wi-Fi works. You know what I mean? I never played this in it's an awesome game, and oh man, is it like, it's intense. I know it's like 10 years old, but it's so intense. So intense. Alien Isolation. What a fantastic game. I gotta beat all these games. No time. But when I do have time, there it is. The best. When I have time, I want to play these, and I can't off my 6E internet. So I have a Wi-Fi extender, and it's 5G. That works in the front room. However, I get like 150 megabytes down. So let me go here. Well, leave that on. Go here. Should just show up. So this is how I play this in the front room, which makes no sense, but it's a PS5, it's not a computer, so I guess you don't need super fast internet to connect. I think it's only 100 megabits down, and I think like 5 up to have good gameplay or 1080p. But that is BS when this thing's supposed to have Wi-Fi 6E, but since the poor antenna connection or the way they designed it doesn't register, like you open this up, it works right away. There's no issues. You can do whatever you want. With this, like, you have to set everything up, and a lot of people are telling me like that they couldn't connect to the internet because it's too slow, and they had to do it offline, then connect, which is okay, then all right, whatever. Like this can't even find like the extender, like so ridiculous. It's just janky. All right, it is just janky. And let me see if I can find it on the Odin. See, this is what I'm talking about here. We'll go here, right? I haven't connected it to the routers, but let's see if it could just foresee the router. And you can already hear the stuttering because it's like, Wi-Fi is poor. Huh? Okay, now there we go. See, that's the extender. It's an extender. It's 5G, right? And if I connect to that, it's 5G internet, home internet. So it's all, and speed tests will only show that it gets like 150 at most down, nothing close to that. But it'll get 40 up, which is weird and great at the same time. As we're still waiting. Like, come on. So, long story short, I love this thing. And I don't want to send it back to be fixed because who knows the next one's going to have what problems then. It's like trading off here. But I don't want to take this thing apart, and I don't want to have to settle to connect to an extender, a less powerful internet. Even if it sufficed for the PlayStation in the future, if I want to stream from a computer or something like that, you'll need more speed. And I have it, more than plenty enough, especially in the front room. And I just can't. So if you guys know anything about, like, if you need to take it apart, unhook the antenna, or just move the antenna out of the heatsink's way or something to get better reception, please let me know. I've looked all over the internet. All I could find was basically that these things were made with poor Wi-Fi connections that other people have reported. When I bring it up to Ayaneo, they just give me some like, they're like, we'll look into it, or are you connected to a 5G internet, or yada yada yada. And it's like, okay, I did my own research. It's something to do with like the signal saturation. If it's such a strong signal, you'd have to like change the channel or the network to a lower setting. I'm not gonna do that to play on this device. That's ridiculous. It is the poor Wi-Fi placement for the antenna in the device, and I think it has something to do with the heatsink. I think it's like covering it a little bit. If that needs to, I don't know why, or if you guys obviously know, let me know. But I feel like it's the antenna placement inside, and I'm not tech savvy when it comes to taking something apart and then filling with it and putting it back together and hoping that works. I would like someone, if anybody knows what to do on how to fix this. If I have to send it back, I will. I mean, I got the portal. Who cares, right? And then I'm going to get the grip soon. It's going to take its spot. But I don't want to give up on this. Like, this has no grip, and it feels better than the G Cloud. The sticks feel amazing. The ergonomics, you can't beat it. Like, playing PlayStation games on here, you can't beat it. It sucks. It's not as good on here because of the ergonomics, even with the grip and stuff. The buttons are not as close, so depending on what game you're on, you have to move your finger more. And I thought that would be better since they're further away, but not for mashing and not for like precision, block, hit, gotta dodge and this and that. Like Wukong, Stellar Blade, awesome on this. It's okay on this, but does it feel better on this? Yes. Shooting games, you can't beat the triggers, the sticks feel great. I just want it to work. So again, if anybody knows, let me know. If you can, get both. If you can't, get the portal. It's just, this is unreliable. And then on top of that, I think it's over with the Indiegogo campaign, so it's going to be way more expensive. And then give it like 6 months, and that Ayaneo 3 PC that came out, give it 6 months and they'll make an Android version of that, guaranteed, where you can swap these around. It makes more sense if that thing was an Android based, because I mean, who's going to be playing retro games on a handheld PC that costs like $1,600, right? It's a PC. Why? It doesn't make sense. And the Ayaneo 3 has like I think it's 49 watt battery, so it's like nothing special. I don't really care about 86 handhelds because I'm not to that level, but I know battery counts, and the ROG Ally X has an 80 watt battery, and I thought that was the standard now. But just give this like 6 months. They'll make this again, but they'll make it where these things pop out and then you can switch them, and they'll probably use a different chip. God, I hope they do, because this one is just not worth it. I think it's just, you don't need the extra power. The extra power requires overheating or setting your device on fire, which is not necessary, because who wants that? Just get a better efficient chip. They could do with Gen 3 even, or the Elite. I mean, if they put an Elite chip in this and they made it like the price that they want, at least you can bargain with that. It's like the most recent chip. It's high end. It would be great for win later, and it'd be great for emulating and all that. But this chip gets way too hot. I'm not too worried about damaging the internals. Playing Nintendo Switch is not worth it. But streaming, this was my go-to. This is going to take the place of the G Cloud, and it definitely does, because it's on the same level technically with 5G internet, because that's what the G Cloud can do. It's 5G. But I paid a premium price, and this costs less technically, and it has way better Wi-Fi, and everything works. Doesn't make sense. Like, this should outperform this. Kind of does after trial and error and replacements. But the Wi-Fi is like, there's no issues. You open up, it works. This second one I got, and it still has a Wi-Fi connection. And I think it's because my Wi-Fi is strong, but how does everything else in my house work when it connects to my Wi-Fi except this? It's because of the poor antenna placement. So if anybody knows, let me know. If I need to take it apart to a simple fix, I'll do it. Hey, I don't want to send it back. I love this. I love the D-pad. It's better now, and everything else is fine. Obviously white just looks so premium, looks so nice, no smudging. They told me that this plastic would smudge too. It does not. Yeah, it's glass. I mean, just don't really have greasy hands, and just don't do that. I mean, if you gotta move and stuff, that's fine, but it's your device. Who's gonna look at it? Clean it if you can. If you can't, whatever. But if anybody knows, please let me know. I would love to fix the antenna, the reception on this. Ayaneo is going to get back to me, and if they ask me to send it back, that's another like 2 to 3 weeks. I gotta wait to maybe have it fixed, and I really don't want to go through that again. That was way too much. That would kill me, because it's like I'm waiting, doesn't work, send it back, I'm waiting, kind of works now, but not to the fullest, not to what I paid for. I don't know if they're gonna be like, it's past the 7-day return policy, but I'm like, well, I never got a working one, how's that fair? Whatever. But if you guys know a simple fix, let me know. I'll definitely take it apart, whatever the case may be, but I just want this thing to work. I love it too much. I love the portal, and when I get the grip on, it's probably take this guy's place until this figures out what we're gonna do or fix it or whatever. I'll make a video if I can about fixing it, or if I need to send it back to be fixed. But it's gonna be old news by the time this actually works in my hands. I know other people have no complaints, but that retro power look, I don't care for that. That looks ugly as sin. The white looks too clean. It looks like you pay the money for this because it just looks like you do. Even with the gray buttons, looks nice. Long story short, I just want it to work. If you guys know, let me know. Please leave a comment. If anybody knows how to fix the antenna reception, or if anybody ran into the same problem, let me know. It'd be much appreciated. I'll try to push out more videos. I will try emulating on this. Again, it's just, you know, with the fan at max, this thing is like a jet engine. It's not fun. It's not something anybody else I think is really going to enjoy with that max mode. The streaming mode is amazing, saves power. The chip, again, so powerful, just drains power regardless if it's on streaming mode or whatever. Still get better battery life on this. Ridiculous. This has a bigger battery. It turns down the clocks on the CPU and the GPUs to just have it stream. There's a streaming mode. It shows you that. Like, let's go here. I'll show you that real quick, and then I'll end the video because it's going on way too long. So it's on streaming mode, as you can see, and then I got 120 hertz because why not, man? I paid for this. All right, let's go to settings. Oh, not that settings. And then there's the back button. Doesn't exist. It does. It's one of these, but it's hard to remember. Handheld settings? Yeah, there we go. Okay, check it out. Oh, performance. So it's in stream mode. Look at that. It turns it down, right? It's not doing nothing. So, I'm sorry, the light is bad. So the clock is, the GPU limit is like right there. Let's get this out of here. See, you can make it all the way up to there, but it turns all the way down there. However, even playing on a lower speed internet, this does not last as long as it does on the Portal. See, we just lost 1%. And the brightness and all that, like, I don't keep this thing bright at all. That's max for me. So the chip is just too powerful. It sucks up more juice, which is not fun, but whatever. If I could fix the antenna, I could care less about all this and just be my portable PlayStation 5. And that's how I would want it to be. And this could be portable PlayStation 5 and emulating and win later because it's got the RAM and the more RAM that it lets you use. That would be fun. That would be fun to test on this for all that stuff. This, it's just comfortable. I want it to work. Please let me know. If you... See, I don't even know what that does. Don't know what that does. There we go. If you guys know, let me know. But thanks for watching. And again, leave a comment if you guys heard anything about the antenna or how to fix it or if it needs to be taken apart. I'd really appreciate it. I'm waiting on Ayaneo, but you guys, I feel like someone has run into this issue. And if someone knows how to fix it without sending it back, this will be the second time. I don't want to have to send it back a third time. I'd rather just fix it. I have the tools to take it apart. I don't want to. Do I want to wait 2 more weeks? No. So thanks again for watching. You guys have a good one. Take care.